Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Fergs Disc Sports. Check out bergsdiscsports.com for the highest quality disc golf bags and gear that have all been fully tested and approved by our disc golf community. The only thing better than Fergs bags is Fergs customer service. For over 10 years, the Flying Disc Store has stocked Australia's largest range of flying disc products. From disc golf discs and bags to ultimate frisbees, throw and catch discs and dog discs, the Flying Disc Store has everything you need. As part of our support of the Tee-Off, the Flying Disc Store would like to provide Tee-Off listeners with 5% off any purchase in the store. Just use the code TEEOFF5 when checking out to get your discount. Visit www.flyingdiscstore.com.au today to grab a deal, and if you have any questions, be sure to contact their friendly staff. And welcome back to the Tee-Off, an Australian podcast about the awesome sport of disc golf. This is episode 35. My name is Paddy Robinson, and in the studio with me today, I've got Fergie Ferguson. How are you, mate?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good, very good. Tim Bowen, welcome.
Hey, Paddy, Fergie, how are we, boys?
Good, mate. And we've actually got a very special guest, the first time on a podcast, first time in a studio, Ryan Michell. Welcome.
Howdy, boys. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, stoked you're here. Stoked you're here.
Hang on, it's Michelle, not Mitchell.
Yeah, it's definitely Michelle. We've got Michell down, do we?
Yeah, well, I mean...
There's no T in that.
How often do you get called Ryan Mitchell?
I think half the comps that I rock up to.
There we go.
All right, straight into it. We've got a pretty fun episode for you guys today. So, players meeting, Tim. I know how stoked you are about my rebranding.
Go to the bathroom, shall I? Bathroom time.
Well, nut one out. No.
Actually, there's a question for you later there, Ryan. 47 5-star reviews on Spotify. Massive thanks to all the listeners there. I did have a quick squiz at that the other day and was pretty stoked.
So the bots are coming in? Nice.
The bots are coming in. Yeah, mum and dad too, yeah. Almost at 50. Maybe we should do something for 50 5-star reviews. Who knows? Also, keep an eye out for us at the Vic Open. We do have a tea sponsorship. I think we're on the old hole, or the permanent hole 16, I think.
The blue basket that no one ever birdies.
Yeah.
Never, ever been birdied.
Yeah.
You didn't birdie it on the weekend, did you, Paddy?
Oh, maybe.
Oh,
maybe.
That's why he slapped down the tea sponsorship.
But please, if you are playing the Vic Open and you are around, come and find us. We would love to have like a little photo with you. We'll have some merch available. We want to see you and, say g'day.
And if you get a birdie on our hole, make sure you send that in to get it on camera. And even better, if you happen to hit first available or full shank it, send that in. That's the stuff we want to see.
There's a nice big tree out. It's right in front of you. So, yeah, give that one a good knock.
If you actually film yourself hitting that tree first available in tournament play, we'll give you something special.
Oh, definitely.
We'll give you something special. All right, straight into some news.
What's news round the world, round Australia? What's news? What's happened and who's spoken?
Alrighty, boys. So we've had a couple of Disc Golf Pro Tour events. We had an Elite Series event, the Music City Open, presented by Lone Star Discs. And Mr. Simon Lizotte got a big win there by one shot. He actually carded 8 birdies in a row to finish the comp. 8 birdies in a row. One from the chase card. And that's actually the third Elite Series event in a row where the winner has come from the chase card.
What's that about?
Well,
what a crazy stat.
Every time I see that, I just think, poor Jomez. Just paid all his cash to get lead card.
Damn it.
And then Gatekeeper or Central Coast or whoever's got chase cards just like, yes, please.
Money!
On the FPO side of things, Kristen Tatar, no surprise, she got the win. But she actually started last round in 4th place and ended up winning by 5 shots over Jen Allen and Macy Valadiaz. So well done to KT.
That's huge.
I feel like I'm going to be shouting out KT winning FPO a lot this year. And partly for that is she's an amazing disc golfer. But one Paige Pierce seems to have dropped off the face of the planet. She finished 27th out of the cash and 22 shots behind KT. So, boys, I'm putting the question out there. What is happening with Paige Pierce?
Look, I mean, she's had a win this year already, but that is a big jump off the place, especially the Music City Open. I feel like that course would have really played to her advantages. But 27th, that's a big drop.
Did she get
That's a
married?
big drop.
She got married. I don't think this is
Oh,
like...
is she? Is that?
Well, I thought she got married, or I know
I know
she's
she's
in
engaged, but
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
I just thought maybe she's
don't know,
just
maybe
in a different space.
not
at the moment,
practicing.
you know?
Yeah,
Just
not
enjoying
really.
life.
I mean, how can you be enjoying life when you're 27th? No, look, I don't know what's going on there. I thought she was back. She had a good win. I think it was the last comp.
Sorry,
but,
I was going to say ask Fergie, but sorry.
I was going to say, ask me.
No, look, I think it's notable. She's a world champion. Obviously, the stature of Paige Pierce, you expect her to be there fighting for podiums at the very least every comp, and 27th place well behind her. And I did notice too that Discraft actually put out that Missy Gannon is the captain of Discraft's team for this year, which I thought that was Paige Pierce. I couldn't confirm that, but there was no like.
I'm not sure that they've had a female captain.
Oh, okay.
I think that might be because it was has been Yuli.
Yeah, Yuli for the okay.
Yeah, so now I think they've brought in one of both.
So now it's
female
Yuli
captain
and
as well.
Missy Gannon.
And
Okay.
Missy Gannon.
I just
yeah.
kind of assumed it was Paige before.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, well, yeah, I'm bringing
drop,
it up out of just more worry for Paige Pierce. I want to see her out there winning. I love watching her play, so it's a shame to see her. I'm not going to watch the 6th card page, so make sure you get onto
Don't
that
think
top
you can
one
watch
for
the
me.
6th card.
Now,
One quick thing with Simon winning. It's one thing I've noticed with a couple of these big pros when they've made that transition to another disc manufacturer, there's been a bit of a hangover period. Is Simon Lizotte just that fucking good that he doesn't have a hangover period? Like,
I think he is. I think he is that good. He's just that freaking good.
That's incredible.
And he's got a young
man.
family. He's got a lot going on in his life, but he's still out there playing and just crushing it with new plastic. And I don't know. The dude knows how to throw a frisbee.
I mean, if you're going to pinch one pro's form, would you pinch Simon Lizotte? I mean, you probably want to take my forehand with that sexy flexi, but if you're going to pinch a backhand form, would it be Simon?
I do like how Simon throws.
Yeah.
I think I would probably backhand form wise. I think I'd go the old Paul, but
Yeah.
Simon's very smooth.
Yeah.
He can keep his elbow injury though. That whip makes my tendons hurt.
Yeah.
Um,
Now,
yeah.
I have a few more Simon Lizotte stats for you, and I have to shout out Charlie Eisenhood for these stats because I've pinched them straight for him. But I never give anyone a shout out without also giving them a bit of a clip. I couldn't help but cringe with the amount of dead air in the commentary during this comp. It was Charlie Eisenhood and Brian Earhart. Mate, the commentary was shocking. Did you guys listen to this?
It reminds me of an episode of The Tee Off.
Couldn't help but thinking when I was watching this, I'd almost want to listen to Cameron Ford. Almost. I said almost. Anyway, got to shout out Charlie. He brought some really interesting Simon Lizotte stats, and I want to run these through you boys. So first of all, Simon Lizotte, in the last 2 tourneys, so over 6 rounds, he's averaged 4.5 shots better for the back 9 versus the front 9.
Okay.
Like that's, if you're thinking there's 9 holes, he's probably, best you can shoot is 9 down. He's almost averaging 5 shots better on the back 9 versus the front. So does he just need a little bit of warming up, or is that his old age?
How scary is it that what if he turns it on in the first round?
I know, yeah.
In the first half. I mean,
Almost
goodness
couldn't be
me.
caught.
It's tricky. Maybe he's not got what he's wants in that first 9, and now he's like, all right, I've got to pull my finger out here.
Yeah.
It's true. Maybe his warm ups not that great, Ryan.
I think a lot of the players talk about that kind of anxiety around, or the start of the round, and they kind of get the feel happening halfway through, then they start getting in the groove. Yeah,
I did hear him mention in maybe it could have been a bit of post that he's from Chase Card, a bit of the pressure's off, like he's going into the final 9. Maybe it's setting that perfect scene.
Yeah.
And then 8 birdies later.
Yeah, he does seem to like coming from behind because more than half.
So does Fergie, doesn't he?
Again.
boys, friendly today. More than half of Simon's career wins have come from behind in the last round. So
Right.
that's like
It's
more than
huge.
half. So obviously he finishes better than he starts was the sort of thread that I'm getting here. Now, you kind of think Simon Lizotte winning is a bit of an anomaly. Like it's kind of always Macbeth or Simon might win one every year. He's actually won 5 Elite Series events since the start of 2022. And that's leading the field. The next best is Ricky, also on 5. Paul Macbeth and Calvin have won 3, and Gannon Burr has won 2. So I think Simon, we sort of maybe tip him as a smoky every now and then. He needs to be one of the absolute front runners for these big comps because he just seems to turn it on.
The old chase card champ. I like it.
And this is actually probably the most impressive stat. Simon Lizotte is the first player since Paul Macbeth and Ken Climo, who you may have heard of those two disc golfers before, to win twice.
Climo? Is it Clean? Okay. Yep.
Ken Climo.
Yeah.
To win twice from the chase card at an Elite Series event. So
Right.
So people have done it once before, but only those 3 people have actually won twice from the chase card, proving it's no fluke. So well done to Simon, and thanks, Charlie, for those stats. I thought they were very interesting stuff.
Do you reckon that's a stat he's going to try and, like, maybe he'll tank a little bit so he's on the chase card in that final round and, yeah,
that's what it is.
solo?
No pressure. I'm just the pressure's off and he plays his game.
Maybe it's now now that he's a little bit older, because normally, like, go back like 4 years when Simon was not winning the comp. That's when he was trying to do dumb shit. He was throwing, spike hyzers where there was no spike hyzer available. Now maybe he's giving himself a chance to play it properly, and there he's actually chalking up a few wins.
I think, he was the flying circus, all that sort of thing. I think he had that, his persona was the entertainer. Yeah. So he come in, I'm going to, Robbie Williams over here, he's going to entertain us, throw those crazy lines. But now it's like, my elbow is broken. And but he can play, now he's entertaining us with doing his little lap of honour, high-fiving everyone in the crowd. That's far better entertainment.
He's also got to live up to $10 million. So
good call.
A bit of pressure there to make sure you come through with the goods.
Well,
how's MVP? You just sign with MVP and you get a world championship in James Conrad, and now you're picking up win after win after win with Simon Lizotte. So doing good things.
The real MVPs, hey?
Now, I've spent too long in the Music City Open. We've got to move over to the next one. It's another Disc Golf Pro Tour event, a Silver Series event, the Innova Blue Ridge Championship at Championship.
Freudian
Clarify ship at North Cove. These big headings for the events are obviously doing my head in because I'm going to start spluttering. Gannon Burr had another win, a 10.83 final round, had a 2-shot win over Bradley Williams with Kyle Klein and Calvin Heimberg rounding out the top 4. Huge from GB.
Nine down the final round is exceptional considering some of the scores were coming in.
The course looked absolutely nuts.
I know, it's pretty impressive. Like, I've heard a lot of people say too gimmicky because there's a few gimmicks, OBs and but pretty spectacular location for that one. Hopefully.
Elevation, some woods.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Dig it. To me, that's disc golf too.
Yeah.
That's a good disc golf course.
Exactly. Yeah. Kristen Tatar, she won by a whopping 9 shots in FPO. Next best was Sarah Hokum, and KT almost had the hot round, all 3 rounds. She definitely had it for the first 2. Third one, I think she had she was 1 or 2 shots off the hot round. But she's just in a league of her own at the moment, KT.
Now, we love a good trophy. What did you think of the trophy, boys? That one.
Look, it's interesting. Yeah. I think I like the Music City Open one. That was like an electric guitar. But
that was very cool.
Very, very
actually,
cool.
Yeah. I like that it didn't come with an amp, though, so no one could actually hear anyone play. But yeah, pretty cool trophy.
I wonder how much money KT is spending on freight getting all these trophies back home, because they're not small, and she's just picking them up week after week after week.
Well, you could shelve the ones you want.
She averaged 10.10 for this tourney, so I just wanted to point out she's currently 987 rated, moving very, very close to 4 digits, the first female player to ever reach 4 digits. Pretty impressive.
She'll do
That's
it.
incredible.
She'll do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Jeez. 10-10. Hello.
Now, it needs to be said, hole 18 at this event killed the MPO field. Killed the MPO field. I think I had one of my picks, Zach Arlinghouse. He shot 9 birdies in the last round, but he finished with a 7 over par on the last hole, ruined the whole round.
Wow.
So imagine that. You just rolling in, having it cruising. I'm like 6 down. Hot round for the tournament was 8 down, and he finishes like close to par.
Surely something's wrong with that hole. The design of that hole is very flawed. That can't be happening.
It's
like you look at the numbers. It's not that it's not out of the realms of possibility that there'd be some birdies. 254 metre par 4, so 2 decent drives will get you there. OB carry at the end, that was sort of causing a bit of the danger. There was OB everywhere, but the last bit, I think if you went OB, you basically had to rethrow, and I think that's where the numbers came from.
Right.
It averaged 5.52. So most of the holes for the tourney averaged close to par, maybe plus or minus 0.2 sort of thing. This hole was 1.5 strokes over par.
Right.
And there were some whopping scores. There was some absolutely whopping scores. So listen to these stats, boys. Strap yourself in.
All right.
Round 3, there was a single birdie. There were 10 birdies for the entire tournament. A field of 146, playing it 3 times, 10 birdies.
Okay.
Shout out to Big Germ. He was one of them. Nice. On the contrary,
the only thing he did.
There were 18 double-digit or worse scores. So 18 players got 10 or worse. And there were plenty of people that got 9s. So plenty of people getting 5 overs. I need to shout out one boy, Jordan Davidson. Well done, sir. You took the biggest score I've ever seen on a disc golf hole, a 19. A 19, Paddy.
Wouldn't you, if you're that close, wouldn't you just gaff your last putt just to take a 20?
Oh,
just say you've done
round
it.
it out. I mean,
well, go on, I'll do it.
He might have been down to his last disc. Like, I don't imagine he's getting these discs back. They're all OB in the jungle.
Mate, I mean, we call an 8 a snowman. What do you call a 19?
Fucked.
That's just rough. I couldn't help but see those scores and think, are these boys just blowing out their ratings so it doesn't count? Is that what's happening? Because AJ Carey took a 15. A 15. Crazy.
All right.
But it did make me think, what's the worst score you've ever got on a hole in disc golf? I think personally I've had like a 11. And I have actually seen an 18 before. Shout out to young Evelyn Heath. She just couldn't carry this one OB carry. Had a few cracks at it. And also Sean Freeman's dad. Shout out to Keithy Freeman. Also took an 18. Ooh. Same call. What's the worst score you've ever seen or had?
I had a pretty bad one. I tried to look it up before. I had a pretty bad one at USDGC. I cannot quite remember. I remember the feeling, but I don't remember the number. I've blanked it out of my memory, but it was in the teens, that's for sure. Boy. And a similar thing, like an OB carry that I just couldn't get OB. The sun was in my eyes. It was raining. It was, the whole, But
it reminds me of that playoff action. No, I'm going to stop bringing it up.
Mine's quite humble. I think I'm really only 8, maybe a 9. Nothing of note. No, nothing of note. Nothing of note. No.
I've seen you 9-putt at a casual round.
Casual.
No, that's.
What about you, Rai?
No, I think the worst I've taken is probably a triple. I haven't been playing for as long as you fellas, though. So
don't worry.
Accumulated a few more.
You'll get there. The trick, if you want to get a big score, is just to be really stubborn and continually go for a shot you don't have the capabilities of pulling off. That's what I recommend.
Yeah,
highly recommend.
That's my jam.
Now, there was a whole raft of Aussie tournaments, so maybe we'll just kick through these really nice and quick. The first one, Chichester Pro over in WA. MPO winner was Alex Canaston by 5 shots over my teammate Blake Houston. So I know those boys, they love a battle, but Alex, 5 shots, big win over
Solid.
Blake. MP40, 922 rated Brendan Bennett had a 3-stroke win over Chris Finn. So big win by Brendan in the MP40 division. Yep. FPO winner Joanne McCamish took out.
FA1.
FA1, sorry.
Was the highest woman.
Yep. So well done to Joanne. Not the first time I've shouted out her. She's obviously doing good things over in WA. Now we have the Southern Forest Bark Buster 2023 over in Tassie.
Speaking of long names.
I know. I really took my time on that one because I'm like, I can stuff up some of these words. MPO winner was Atticus. So young Atticus Ariston had a 4-stroke win over Oliver Mundy Castle, and his score of 3 down was the only score under par for the entire field. So obviously that course playing nice and difficult, and Atticus navigating it quite well. MA1, Hamish Dwyer, 2 strokes over Josiah Muggeridge.
Yeah, no ladies playing that event.
Yep.
So shout out to MA1. Nice, Hamish.
Well done.
We then went to the Molong Cup. MPO winner was Jade Brady, a whopping 9 strokes over Clayton Beck. Very comfortable there. MP40 was Bruce McNaughton, who won 1 stroke over Olatunji. Just, Bruce, mate, can you pick a division?
Fair call. Does love flitting between the divisions, old Brucey.
Bouncing around like a beach ball at a Nickelback concert, aren't you, Bruce? And the highest or the best female score was from Carol Hartley, who played in the FA40 with the +29. So well done, Carol.
Heading a little bit further up to Queensland, we had the battle at the 7th Brigade Park. The battle at 7th Brigade Park.
Are these TDs just
No,
purposely
I
making
got it
these
out.
difficult to read out, these names?
Yeah, I think so. They're just trying to catch us.
Listening in.
I've removed stuff too from these.
MPO winner was Luke Bain, who won with 6 strokes over Aaron Morton. In NP40, we had Aaron Cruel from DC Discs, who took out MP40. The FPO division, we had Sarah Marby and Jess Porter, both at +13, and that was playoff in FA2.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, yes. Okay.
FA2 was the
FA2 division.
highest. Yeah.
There you go. Cool. Well done. And a big shout out to Nick Halstead, placing 3rd place, his highest finish so far this year. And shooting a pretty handy 1,000 rated first round as well. So on you, Nick.
Well
and
done,
I
Nick.
did actually see somewhere that he's going to head to the PDGA World Champs.
Yeah.
The AM Worlds. Well
Awesome.
done, Nick.
So
Awesome stuff.
Nick, and another shout out on that is Mark Hardy. He is going over.
He's playing AM Worlds.
He is playing
Yes.
AM Worlds, mate. Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know Mark Hardy, he was playing a little bit before I did. So he's been playing the sport for over 10 years. He's a lovely guy, young family, teacher. He's sort of had a bit of time, come back, and he's been playing some great golf. And with a couple of wins in MA1, he's earned a spot. He got invited to AM World Champs, and he said, the stars aligned a bit with school holidays, and he's going.
Yeah,
so
sweet.
Good on him.
yeah,
Repping the disc golf dads. I've been over there, and he will find out very quickly that all of the other dads are the actual caddy for their sons in that. So good luck, Hardy.
Yeah. And finally, we had the Rob Hancock Memorial. So MPO winner was Alex Canaston, shooting a nice, handy 10-16 first-rated round. He actually won this in a playoff with Paul Newson. Noisy. So, came down, got the win, though. MP40, we had Chris Finn, 2 strokes over Corey Bandy there. And our highest best score for the women was Joanne. Who played in FA2 this time with a +5. So,
and a shout out to Noisy as well for taking out the Rob Hancock Memorial being in the Masters division. So he got to hold the trophy up there. So well done, mate.
Well done, Noisy.
Very prestigious.
Noisy's not 40, is he? Masters?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, jeez.
Doesn't look it. Doesn't look a day
Hey.
at 25.
You look
Baby
great,
face.
Noisy. What's the secret, mate?
Now, I've just turned the page, Paddy. What am I looking at? What is this glorious cup? that
Well,
I'm
before we
looking at
do,
here?
mate. Before we do. Oh,
No.
sorry.
Jump the gun.
I'm
Cup.
looking at the wrong page. Cut. All right, go again.
So I've just turned the page, Paddy. What is this glorious looking trophy mug that I'm looking at right here? What is
Well, look, glorious is an interesting term for this, mate. Look, I just want to say, Jade Brady, apologise, mate, because that is one of the worst trophies. So,
this? If you haven't seen it,
it is the Molong Cup, which is a picture of Tim throwing a janky ass forehand, and you have to actually look from behind. So
yeah, they got my best angle.
you got the
rear.
best angle.
It's a
Beautiful.
little cheeky.
There's no way that your hand is finishing there without you throwing that on at least
baby.
45 degrees.
That's got to be
That's
at least.
disgusting.
That's got to be. I can tell you right now, that'll be a type hand, and that'll be flexed to its maximum capacity.
Who's holding this cup?
So I mean, everyone. The people that won it all got.
No, literally in this photo right now. Who's holding this cup?
Must be Jade, maybe. I don't know.
Jade,
Not sure.
clean your fingernails, mate.
Oh.
It's absolutely disgusting.
Actually,
No,
there looks
well-
like there's a wedding ring there, so I don't know if that is Jade, but
I'm sure the people that won their division at the Molong Cup are just absolutely stoked, and I hope they're putting this bad boy front and center on the top shelf of their trophy cabinet with my backside pointed.
Is
to
it one of
Well-
those ones where you pour hot water in and it changes? Like maybe Tim's naked under there.
It's a nudie cup.
I was going to say it's going on the highest shelf because my lips are going nowhere near that cup. I'll tell you that much, mate.
Ah, that's awesome stuff.
Oh, jeez. So to wrap up the recap as well, we've got the Vic Open coming up this weekend. We touched briefly on it, but I'm feeling pretty excited. It's going to be 4 days of absolute bliss. The weather is looking good too.
4 days.
4 days, mate.
And it all goes down in Ballarat starting on Saturday. What, boys?
Well, before we do this, there was a big announcement that the final round is going to be live streamed, which is the first time we've ever done this in Australia, which is going to be pretty cool. So all 5 people at home, who won't be at the event, please
I might be able to live
log
stream
in.
it. I'll be able to live stream it from the 7th card. That'd be great. I'll be checking out how the big boys are doing.
No, Mum, Dad, please. Yeah. So there will be it will be shared through the ADG site, and you'll be able to watch some live disc golf from Australia.
Awesome stuff. Now we've got to get some tips. Huge field. Who we liking? Shoddy Bainey. I mean, the man's got 4 numbers in his rating. That's that's good enough for me.
Solid. And he shot another couple of thousand rated on the weekend too.
Yep.
It's hard to go past. Oh, well, he's defending champ too.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to throw out Dave Perry in there.
Yep.
I think he's due. He's due for a big one, which will be exciting. But it's hard to go past Luke as well.
I might have just shit-talked his fingernails a few minutes ago, but Jade Brady, I did see his name on the list. I just think, why not?
Yeah.
Do you know whose name I'm not seeing on the list is Dave Perry. Is he not playing?
Is he not?
Not playing. So pick another one.
Oh, right.
Pick again.
Why is he not playing? Oh,
don't know.
I better call him after this.
Jade Brady's a good tip, though.
Yeah, I
Because,
think
he
so,
blew out of the blocks last time. I think he lost on the last hole to Bainey.
Yep. No, I think he'll go one better.
Yep.
I will take
Sorry, boys, but yeah.
Austin then.
Austin. Ooh,
Yeah.
wild card.
Wild card.
Yep.
Not too wild. Not too wild.
Actually,
Mr.
it's not.
Michell?
I think I'd take the big man himself, Mr. Paddy Robinson. Seeing the conditions we played in on the last league, super windy, coming with the hot round 10 down.
I was about to shout that out. 10 down, Paddy. What, are you taking the absolute piss?
Well,
How did you
mate,
get 10
I've
down?
looked at the weather. It's going to be sunny and no wind, so
you stuffed.
no chance. No chance.
I forgot
Plus
to put
2.
this on the recap too. It wasn't a PDJ event, but I did happen to stroll up to Canberra on the weekend, and I took down one of the big dogs. Jade and Austin, they were scared away, but I took down Mr. Dan Frost, and I just want to say, whooped you, mate. Absolutely. If you're watching at home, we went down to Edison for a stoush, and I smashed him 11 down versus I think he shot a 5 down. So shout out to Big Dan, Mr. Ed Frost.
Humble, isn't he, our co-host here?
Yeah. What are you doing, Dan? Come on, mate.
Let me know if you want a rematch down at Barwon Valley.
So, any just before we move on, any thoughts about 4 rounds at Ballarat?
Stoked.
Any change to the game, boys? Any?
No, it
thoughts
did make
there?
me look at the list when, because we were doing, shout out to the Throwlers boys. Alan put out a tipping comp for this event, so we had to pick 6 players.
Right.
It did make me think, it's not about just who's got the highest ceiling in terms of their disc golf game. 4 rounds is really going to test consistency. And, some of those players can have really, really hot rounds, but they can also blow out at the other end of the spectrum. So it did make me rethink about who's going to be the person to beat for this comp.
The only thing I was really thinking about is that I've got to set up the pro shop for another day, unfortunately. So I won't be playing, but I will be running the fully stocked Flying Disc Store pro shop.
Lovely. Where will that be?
That'll be at
the
headquarters.
Headquarters?
Near
Nice.
hole 18.
Sweet.
There you go.
Sweet. If you
The
want
other
to
thing would
stock
be,
some Tim Bowen mugs, let me know. About to get them printed.
There are a few changed holes as well. A few of us have checked them out. I think they seem to favour the lefty. Thank you very much, tournament director.
Yeah.
Jeez, what a change. That's not every single course I've ever played in disc golf.
Says Tim in every tournament he ever plays.
I did, Tim. You did ask me about the new holes before we played on the weekend. I think in my message that don't be fully erect on the tee, mate, because they're all flex forehands.
Yes, please.
But no, I do actually quite like the changes. I think it'll create a bit more scoring separation on those holes. But yeah,
Awesome.
Cool.
Can't wait.
Oh, I was going to say as well, just as far as the 4 rounds goes, it's interesting how many people have stood up to the Open Division, MPO, to play because it is that 4 rounds. And
yes.
I'm looking across the desk here at Mr. Michell.
Yes, that is correct.
So you made the call to play the 4 rounds, to step up to MPO just to play 4 rounds?
Purely to play the 4 rounds. Yeah. wanted to get out there and have some fun. So plus I'm testing out the waters on the MPO. So
That's awesome.
It's good.
So good.
And it's not just MPO, there was MP40. I know Paul Arden stood up to
Chris Hart.
MP40. Yep.
Awesome stuff.
There you go. Cool.
It's good to see. Yeah, it's good to see a tournament dangling a little bit of a carrot to get those people to step up, because a lot of people are not seeing any reason to and holding themselves back as a result. So awesome stuff.
More disc golf, that's the answer.
Looking for help with course design and installations, a new disc or other accessories for your game? Well, OzDiscs has a huge range of all disc golf equipment in stock. 5% of each sale goes back to support your local club through their rewards program. Also, did we mention they have next day shipping? Well, jump online and check out OzDiscs now at www.ozdiscs.com.au.
We just called to have a chin wag. We just called to have a chat with friends. We just called to talk some disc golf and to catch up on the latest disc golf trends.
Oh, thank you, JB. Now, we are not actually jumping on the phone because, Ryan Michell, you're in the studio, but you are our guest and you are our interview for the day. Now, out off the disc golf course, you are a physiotherapist. You've been doing this for 3-4 years. You've been out
into my 4th year now as a physio. Yep.
And yeah, look, we just thought it'd be great. You're a physiotherapist. You're also a disc golfer. You are all over what goes into the physical side, the muscles, and everything that helps with disc golf. You're also a bit of a clinician when it comes to form. So I think we've all got a couple of questions sort of burning to ask you, and we've had a couple of questions sent in from some of our listeners. So yeah, thanks for joining us and lending your advice.
No worries at all. I'm keen to get into it.
And expertise. Yeah. So straight off, what's the most common mistake you've noticed people making on the disc golf course?
I had to think about this, and I think I'd just categorize it into preparation, like the big word preparation. And there's lots of aspects there, but if I was to break that down again, most common mistake is you don't see enough warm up. Like people are getting on the course, they might get there half an hour early, and I'm talking like tournament rounds as well, and just not warming up probably, and maybe you're doing a Simon Lizotte, you know they're getting halfway into the round, then they're hitting their groove. I've done it before. I'm sure everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Oh mate, I love my 3-minute warm up. I throw my mids and do a couple of push-ups and I'm good.
I saw something on
people in our age category, Paddy. There's a little bit of a trade-off between like warming up and then like fatiguing. So we've got to find that balance where we get the joints moving, but we don't waste all our power.
I saw something on Instagram the other day. It was about Tiger Woods and his preparation, and it went through all of his clubs, and he starts off hitting the woods and does it like 20 of them, 15 of them, 14 of them, and then just keeps it all the way to the putting. And it's, you're talking about an hour's worth of play just before he even gets on the course.
Yeah, 100%. I actually saw Mr. Macbeth himself talk about his, pre-game preparation or warm-up. He's there, an hour to an hour and a half early. He's doing 10 drives, 10 putts, flipping through that, walking some of the holes, and then doing it again. And he's, stepping up to the tee. He's warm. You see a couple of guys on the YouTube, on their Jomez Pro, they're sweating. They're sweating on that first tee, and it looks like they've just run a marathon. Like in particular, Ricky Wysocki, you see him stepping up, he is already ringing with sweat.
Yeah. I'm sweating too, but I just smashed a hot dog. So.
I was going to say, I've just been to the Dunny and I haven't usually sweating after that, but yeah.
So some people need different levels of preparation for a round, but yeah. Yep.
Sorry, just knocked me drink bottle over.
So we're talking about warm-ups. So what's the optimal sort of warm-up? Do you have a routine or sort of time spent on each aspect of disc golf? What do you sort of do for a warm-up?
Yep, I definitely do. And I like to try and incorporate what I know about with different sports. I take a bit of football. These guys are doing dynamic movements. They're not just stretching. Mm-hmm. They're doing, they're swinging through the range of motion of their body. They're actually doing a few strength movements. They're getting their body activated. They're activating the muscle before they're actually stepping onto the tee. Plus, they're getting a bit of a sweat on as well. Get that lap in there. But then, you got to have the skills ready too. So, you know, like I said, Paul McBeth doing 10 drives, 10 putts. He's doing all of the different ranges of drives that he needs to for all the course. Yep.
I've definitely like not felt like I've warmed up enough and not know where my. I think there's a point where I warm up my body and my muscles, but I also like to know where I call it like where the hit point is. And I can't, like, I've tried warming up in front of like a net. Some places where we haven't had enough room to actually throw, do that, and I just don't get the same feel, I suppose, or know where my hit point is and know exactly what my release and what my disc is doing. Is that something or
no? Definitely, you want to get your eye in there as well. So if you can like if obviously, you know, at some comps it's hard because you might be on the top of a mountain and you don't have that, you know, field to go and play in to warm up. But it's better to be able to visualize the whole flight of the disc, and then because you might have that exact shot and you need to visualize the whole shot. But yeah, I mean, if you are throwing into a net and that's all you've got, try and set your mind like you're about to throw that specific shot. And if you know there's a particular shot on the course, you're like, oh, that's gonna test me today. Make sure that's in your prep. Yeah. Okay.
One thing like we kind of joked about just before, but I actually find quite interesting is like that warming up too much and then actually fatiguing. Is that something that maybe we think could happen, or like I've probably had it where I've done it, but I was like unwell coming back into disc golf and I hadn't prepped enough in training, and I felt like I fatigued my muscles a little bit. But
yeah,
is
100%.
that
no? Yeah. If I pull it back to what I said at the start, that umbrella term, you know, preparation. That's the other part of it. It's the preparation that's there before you step up to a tournament, and you've got to know how much is right for you by testing it. So for me, I know that probably an hour, like 30 minutes to an hour would be ideal. And then I'm in the zone. I'll be in the zone from now ready to step up off the first tee and throw a good shot. I know I'm warm. I'm probably going to release it correctly versus, you know, not even just, you know, having the hands warm. Yeah.
What's the most common injury that you guys have had or that you see people have?
For disc golf, I've actually treated a few of the disc golf community in Geelong. And it's actually a wide array. Shoulders, elbows. I've had a couple of...
flex forehands again.
I feel like elbows and forehands are the one that I hear about all the time. And I know early days I had elbow issues when the forehand was not really clean.
Yep.
When you're just really pegging a disc. Yeah.
Yep. And that's something I've been dealing with too.
Is it a tennis elbow? Would you say it's tennis elbow?
It's more so you've got tennis elbow and then you've got golfer's elbow.
Okay.
And not the traditional golfer, but we also normally experience from a forehand. It's normally actually the golfer's elbow on the inner side of the elbow.
Okay.
Because that's where all that stress comes through the flexors of the forearm, particularly in like the actual flick and release. But yeah, like what did you work on to try and get over?
There was a period of time there where I had to have big breaks between rounds, and it was, I think, just naturally my form cleaned up a little bit. But there was a lot of icing and just rest, basically.
Yep.
Because it was, you know, it wasn't really necessarily hurting at the start of a round, but by the end of the round, it was rough. So if I'm playing a 3-day tournament, you know, I'd have to have a good rest leading into that because, the elbow would be pretty crook after the first couple of rounds.
Yep, definitely.
Did you see many, because I know, you know, Simon had knee issues and changed the way he plants his foot. Did you see many leg or knee related issues?
Yeah, I've actually seen a couple of ankles as well as the knee. Yes, I have seen a couple of knees as well. I'm just kind of thinking through the people I've seen. But yes, knee issues, there is a lot of twisting, there's a lot of rotation within that plant foot as well. But you know, there are a lot of soft tissues around the front of the knee that do take a lot of that brunt, that ground force.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, where people might pull up and get overuse injuries. Like there's that combo. I think more overuse injuries is common in disc golf versus, say, acute like tissue damage injuries. But,
Yep. That has happened, though. I mean, Uli, he tore his ACL on the T-pad, having that acute injury.
Just makes me think of Kevin Jones from that ace.
I mean, he got an ace, so...
Yep. And somehow not, didn't do an ACL.
Yeah. Maybe we can let's push on to questions from the listeners. So Jade Brady, he's sent in a question: thoughts on low stack height versus high stack height shoes in disc golf. So he's made the example Pegasus Trails versus the Vivo Barefoots. So the Vivo Barefoots, I think that's what like Eagle McMahon wears. They're very, very minimal shoes, basically socks with rubber soles.
Pretty much.
And I'm guessing the Pegasus Trails are sort of high tops.
That's Jade wears minimal, doesn't he?
He does the.
You've seen his shorts, yeah.
There's so much space between his shorts and his shoes. I swear to God, I've seen more ankle on Jade than I have on my wife.
Good question, Jade. Sorry they ripped you to shreds.
No, that's a
you,
good
Jade.
question. I'm actually a fellow Vivo barefoot wearer myself, and I come off the high stack, if you like. That just means it's got a high heel on it or a high heel drop. Typically in a shoe you get around a centimeter at least of drop, but these, the idea here is that it's like a barefoot. Is there an advantage for disc golf with barefoot versus normal shoes? The answer is no, because I didn't really get any better when I transferred over. But there are definitely benefits without getting or promoting Vivo Barefoot too much. I'll just call it barefoot shoes.
Yeah.
No, we'll send him an email after this and bring him on as sponsor. But go on.
But there are actually lots of muscles within the bottom of the foot that become less active when we're wearing a heel, and also as a normal shoe kind of narrows at the top, where a barefoot shoe widens. So it allows you to plant your foot better and technically ground yourself better which gives you more feel. That's what I feel. If I'm going to say, what does it give me on a tee? It gives me more feel within my footwork. As you can imagine, if you're going to step on a rock and you've got only like a rubber sock on, you can feel it.
I feel with shoes though, there's a trade-off. Like that sounds great, having that extra ground feel, and you want less shoe in that respect. But then if you think about walking some of the courses we have, uphills, in the wet, you want a big, trail shoe for that. And then if you think about playing concrete tee pads, do I really want to drop $300 on a pair of Vivo Barefoots if I'm just going to shred the toe in 3 weeks playing forehands and whatnot? So I feel like it's a big trade-off with shoes, definitely.
Yep.
Finding that balance.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Just asking for a friend, is there anything wrong with buying a pair of shoes from the op shop for $5 and wearing them?
I mean, there's nothing wrong, but I mean, you might not end up with a pair of shoes at the end of the round. So.
It's funny you mentioned that. I think Luke Humphries was playing in fair dinkum a set of Timberlands in the last comp.
I did see that.
Yeah. It looked.
I don't know how he did that.
No, it looked uncomfortable. Yep.
I think maybe that
played
was
pretty
in
hot
that was in the muddy conditions too. So he was probably doing that for a reason, I reckon.
He also was wearing glasses and a hoodie tied up. So.
Yeah.
So with some of these injuries and stuff that are coming in, are you is this sort of coming back to, like you mentioned, a little bit of overuse, but is this like a big about form and how people like, is it, I sort of find sometimes like elbows and that sort of thing has come from a little bit of my form, but like following through, that type of thing. Is there anything you've kind of seen that you could recommend, or is there any like form that you would say like this person has it down, this is what you should try and match your form to in pros, I suppose? Yeah.
I've actually been tuning into a bit of baseball Instagram content, just simply because if you want to look at the forearm, what's the most common sport or similar sport to that? And that's definitely a baseball throw. It's just that you lean over a bit further. And the amount of footwork and leg work that they put into their throws is huge. Obviously, they're kind of stepping off I don't know what you call it, like
the mound.
The mound, when they're throwing. So there's a bit of difference there. But it all comes from the legs, and it should be coming from there and then flowing up through your body into the disc. That's probably the thing you should be looking for. And then where there are inconsistencies in that transfer of energy, one, you're probably going to not throw as far as you could. But two, you're probably losing it somewhere in an area of the body that's going to hurt afterwards, or not hurt, but then you're causing lots of stress over that area. Mm-hmm. Yep.
do it 50 times in a round and it will hurt.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So go smash a bunch of squats. Done.
If there was one part of the body to target as a disc golfer, you want to strengthen something
Yeah.
to throw further or whatever, what probably is that going to be?
Yeah, that's a good question. I actually involve some in my warm up, a couple of strength movements that I really like to do. Kind of a combination of a split squat, which is a one-legged lunge, and also where I'm holding on to something in front of my body, so that there's a transfer of the muscle across from, say, the left leg up through the right arm, because there's a natural chain of fascia and tissue that runs through the body in that direction, and they're the kind of links and chains that you want to be working well together for a smooth throw and a nice transfer of energy. So any of those big compound movements, like in particular, like if I was going to label one in the gym, it's going to be a Pelov press, and that's where you're, big rotational core and lower body, upper body exercise.
There you go.
Look up Pelov press. Yep.
Sweet. I basically like to just lug my kids around. That's my workout.
Yeah, my back loves that. Yeah. Thanks, Fred. Cam Ford.
Cam Ford. I cringe when I hear the name. What's he said?
Yeah, he's asked, is masturbation before a tournament helpful? You dickhead.
It's funny. I know Cam Ford's pre-tourney routine. It's 1 coffee and 2 craps. Yeah. That's what he reckons.
And
well, it's the 3 Ps, really, man. It's pee, poo, and putt. Like
that's all you need.
I think the question is where is he actually doing this? Like, and when? How close to the tournament is this happening?
You don't have to answer that one.
Let's leave that one.
Moving on.
Yeah, avoiding criminal charges.
Blacklist that dude.
Clayton Beck, he asked, I have an unusable pinky, an incorrectly healed broken wrist, a torn AC joint. How do I he's good. Jeez. Retire. No.
Yeah, I would say swimming sounds like a perfect sport for you, mate.
How do I compensate for the injuries, and how do I make them stronger?
Well, this is a complex question. It's very specific as well. But look, if I have someone walking through the door and they've got an acute injury, and look, let's deal these like they're an acute injury. Obviously, we've got a incorrectly healed broken wrist going on. But you need to deal with those tissue healing factors first. That's probably the first and foremost thing. If that wrist is not healed, if it's malunion, that needs to be stabilized first and healed properly before you're getting into your actual sport. And that goes for any sport really. So technically speaking, if you're on a sporting field, you're on a sporting ground or court, you really don't want to be experiencing pain from an injury. Like that's a standard. Like that's a couple of footy players that I've treated throughout the years. That you want to get them to a point they're not painful. Yeah.
My advice, Clayton, is just throw with your left hand, mate.
Yeah, you could change.
Sounds
I
like
think he's been working on that.
You could do an Eagle Big Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Ryan, there's one more question from Anonymous, a bit of a hypothetical one. So just say you're playing around a disc golf and you've got 5 people on the card.
Okay.
And 4 of those people proceed to get a birdie on a hole.
Yeah.
And the 5th person does not quite get the birdie done. Is it okay to rattle the chains as if you'd got a star frame?
That this is it's something that's happened to me recently, actually. And, look, if you want, like at the time, I was not in a good spot in that tournament. That was 60k wins down in Barwon Valley. It was not fun.
And that bad joke picked you out of that good spot, did it?
Oh yeah, definitely not. No.
I think it would be absolutely fair to stroke that.
That's a morale courtesy violation. Right?
That is hardcore.
I felt so horrible. I just had to go on and birdie the next hole in the wind.
I mean, I have laughed about it afterwards. It was good.
Tim was nice to back it up a couple of weeks later with myself. So, yeah. Thanks, dickhead.
I took it a step further, actually. I remember we're playing in a cart of 6 and with all you boys, and I got the only birdie. And I said, boys, do you mind if I shake the chains? No one laughed anyway. I laughed.
As long as you laugh, Tim, yeah, no worries. Well, Ryan, appreciate you coming on and answering some of those questions. I have personally been to see you with some disc golf injuries, and you've helped very much. It's so handy having, not having to explain disc golf to a professional, like, a medical health professional. If anyone is struggling with some injuries, please feel free to reach out to Ryan. He would be happy to see you in the clinic
100%.
and lend his absolute fantastic expertise. Thanks,
I've heard
mate.
he'd love to do some cashies on the side, so slide into the DMs if you want some advice.
Hit me up on the Instagrams. But
Yeah, those $5 massage. Yeah, no worries. All right, next up, your favourite.
No, it won't take the weight. What's he doing? Your donut. No, stop it. What? Are you dismantling a lamp? No, come on, ready? You muppet. Really?
It's time to listen to Tim whinge about PVC for another 10 minutes. Everybody's favourite segment, Gordon Ramsay Review. What have we got?
Look, we'll keep it nice and short and sweet this time. Matt Tulip has sent in his own personal creation. First off, Matt, thank you for sending it in. I'm so glad you want to hear our thoughts. Asterisk to that. I'm looking. Well, the first cool thing, the cool thing I'll say about it is that you can putt during the day. You can also putt at it during the night.
Just for the listeners, we have a big black tub, and it looks like the kind of tub that maybe you'd see in a criminal's basement if you were decomposing body parts. That's kind of the tub we're looking at there.
a bit Breaking Bad.
I thought it looked like a septic tank, to be honest.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
On top of that, it looks like we've got one of those plastic or those rubber trugs, one of the one like bin tubs.
Definitely. The Bunnings sticker's still on it.
Then we have exactly 39 cents worth of chains. And on top of that, it looks like maybe like a pot plant base. I'm not too sure.
There's zip ties on there as well.
I will say
me.
there's also at least 40 S hooks connecting that. No, what do you call them? The D hooks, shackles, like connecting that thing to the actual top.
I thought they were cable ties.
I don't know.
Either way,
They could be.
he's definitely set up to do someone in with cable ties and a drum to melt their body in with acid.
Yeah, he's got his
So on your
serial
mat,
killer.
there's a few people missing in Adelaide actually. So
These are just the components he had in the back of his car, funnily enough. Matty, you've sent in 2 photos too, which is awesome. One's showing the basket lit up at night, so great. I can't help but notice that the putter is on the ground. So is that evidence that the chains don't catch? I mean,
I think it's to show a scale, isn't it?
I tell you what, I would have actually expected that whole drum to be filled with water, but the picture's in 2 different spots, so it must be actually be able to be moved. But
Has he taken that to a public park? That
I
looks
hope
like
not.
A public park.
It kind of does, but yeah, Matt, thanks.
I'm pretty sure your brother
Thanks.
sells baskets, mate.
Yeah.
shout out
No,
to
thanks.
Jindy. Get it onto the Jindy's contact us page there, Matty, and see if they stock any baskets that you might be able to replace this. I don't even want to say it on air, but creative bit of artwork that you've sent in.
I like the dolphin torch on the top too, actually. Yeah, part of 9 is great.
That's it.
Next up, now, this is a creation I've actually seen. It was sent in, but I've actually seen something. It was something that you made there, Fergie.
I was
He just sent it in to trigger me because he's made a PVC, like, what is that, bubble wrap
dispenser.
holder?
Yeah, a bubble wrap dispenser made by, it's actually patent pending Lee Thompson. Bubble wrap dispenser right there with PVC.
There you go.
To be honest, I actually, looking at it, I thought it was a massive dunny roll.
That's I go to the warehouse to take massive shits.
Yeah, clearly.
So what, before you came across this PVC creation, you were just struggling to unravel your bubble wrap?
I just did not know what to do.
This was absolutely vital.
Cut to like ad of me struggling with bubble wrap.
Fair dinkum. Move on. I'm giving it a 1 out of 10, Fergs.
Thanks,
You
sir.
know
At least
better
I got
than
a
that.
1.
Yeah, make it out of wood or something nice, something premium.
I'm sure it's practical.
Oh boy. Next one from Ash Wiedner. I'm looking at a basket that's on top of a trestle table. Ash, why have you sent this in?
Well, look, this is actually a perfect segue into trash or cash segment. But Ash has sent this in. He said, "This is what I'm doing to
prep for the Vic Open. There is one elevated basket at the Vic Open. And Ash thought, this is how I'm going to get some putting practice in. So, yep, it is a blow mold Bunnings trestle table that is sitting on very uneven concrete. And he's just chucked it straight on top. First off, Ash, I'm going to throw it out to you. I think it's cash because you haven't actually gone out and spent $6.50 on some PVC creation to actually just put your basket up. You just said, "Yeah, I've got a table. I'll just put it straight on that," which is exactly what I would do. But yeah, there's a good way to actually practice some elevated putts in your backyard. One good gust of wind though, and that thing is coming down. And
Yeah.
Definitely
I don't know about that. It's
ruining
got a
your
very
basket.
stable footing on that rad birdie light basket right there. So
I'm not worried
shout
about
out to Ash
the
there.
basket, mate.
I think it's fantastic. He's gone out and invested in his disc golf career right there. So don't worry about the table from Bunnings. I'm quite happy with it. Love the creation.
I look forward to watching Ash just whiff all his putts too high on the other 17 holes at Vic Open.
Well, boys, what are we reckon? Trash or cash on that one? I'm going to say cash. I'll throw it out to him.
I'm going cash.
All right, it's Cashly Widener.
All right.
So we're segueing straight over to trash or cash.
Segue straight in.
do it.
That's what the show notes say. Thanks for reading them, Tim. Next up, skin matches. Now, for Ryan Hart on the weekend, who won 16 out of 18 skins at the Ballarat Skins, I'm sure this is cash for him, but I thought I'd throw it out there, boys. What do we think of skins?
What do we think of skins?
I think skins are good. I think skins are entertaining.
Have you ever been invited to play it, Tim? Or?
No, I don't think I have actually. Look, the OTB skins I quite like. It's always a bit lopsided though, because it's just like, you could just bogey the first 5 holes, but the skins keep pushing, and then you birdie that 6th one, no one else does, and bang, you've won cash.
And that is skins.
Yeah, I know.
That is skins.
Do I like that?
Hey, you can win some big money. I like skins. Skins
It is.
are good fun.
It's definitely relative to whether you have won skins or not.
Yeah, I've won a few skins. Yeah, they're good.
I don't know. I think it's rarely like very tactical. I think I don't know. I think it's a bit more luck based than it is skill. You just want to get the birdie at the right time or not fuck up at the right time to get the cash. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mr. Michelle?
I feel like you can play it very well to set yourself up for maybe playing one hole okay. Yeah, so I'll call it I'll give it a cash.
I like it, cash.
Yep. Cash.
Yeah, all right, let's cash too. I'll just invite me next time.
All right. And on that as well, playing for money.
Playing for money. I think this is interesting. It needs to be done a bit more. Actually, fronting up some cash. We do bag tags. I don't really give a shit about bag tags, but you put $50 or $20 or $10 or whatever, $1. I'll want to beat you.
$1?
I like
we can play next
playing for money
$1.
too. I did hear of some pretty high staked cash games between Nico Lacastro and Josh Anthon back in the day. Used to front up maybe a G.
Really?
Head to head. Yeah.
Right.
Might be on the rumour mill, that one. But that kind of stuff. I would like to see that. Chuck that on OTB.
That's killer money.
I will watch that.
Mm.
Playing for money. I kind of like it. I like the idea of it.
Yeah, I like it.
I think
I don't play
golf.
enough, so give me a chance to win something.
Yeah. We play golf. We play for money. That's great. What are you, Ryan?
Yeah, cash it.
Cash.
I like that.
Yeah. The 30-second rule.
I mean, is it ever enforced? Like I've seen it called out to Nico once, and no one else.
Everyone online can calls it out and complains about it.
If you don't have it, then shit's going to get out of control.
I mean, you need it. I mean, people just take too friggin' long.
Quick game's a good game.
Yeah.
I tell you what, speaking of baseball before, they've introduced it in the, is it in the majors yet? Or is it definitely in the minors?
Okay.
The clock on the pitches.
Okay.
And the batters. So basically, I think you get 15 seconds now from when the batter stands on the plate to, actually throw the ball.
How long were they taking?
Shit ton longer. And it was just way too long. It's like, I like cricket, and baseball is like slow like that, but apparently it was just ridiculous. So anyway, whatever. It's just it fastens the game and it makes it better. So I think that without that, you're knackered.
I am going to say trash. I would rather see sometimes, you might take 10 seconds. Sometimes you might need a little bit longer to get into a position. So I would probably like to. I think they do this in golf where they're kind of like they would look at the overall. So is the card moving a bit slower? Like is they causing backups? Like what's going on? And then the official comes over and will like sort of watch them for a bit. And if they are taking too long, then they start dishing out penalties or whatever. Or
What
like
if we earn credits
speed it up
instead? Like if you only took 10 seconds, then you get 20 in the bank, and by the end of the round, you got like a couple of minutes.
Just, it's fine. You're trying to recreate the wheel here. It's 30 seconds. If someone takes more than that, they're a dickhead.
I just want to go to the pub before the.
Well, that's how it works in Australia. We won't penalise you, but you're a dickhead.
Yeah. 30 seconds.
I'm
the
gonna say
dickhead rule.
30
trash.
seconds is plenty. No, it's cash. Bring it. I mean, it should be. Let's bring it down to 20 seconds.
Everything's cash today.
All right,
Yeah, I'm cashing
This
out.
one won't be.
cash.
The next one, the officials exam. So the PDGA officials exam. Everyone taking it?
I have not taken
Oh
it.
boy, look forward to it, Rhino.
Yeah.
Because some of the questions that you'll come across are freaking hilariously bad,
Yeah.
mate. They're shocking.
It's
absolutely
someone smoking
trash.
something who's writing these scenarios for you to choose.
Just the fact that you can be a certified official and then not know some of the important rules still is tricky. Is silly. It's trash.
Yeah.
I think
100%
legit,
trash.
Like one of the questions that I had, the question was trying to imply that if you suspect someone's drinking alcohol on your card, you should call them out. But the way it was written was like, oh, if this person's got red lips after they've drunk from their juice box or whatever, or their water bottle, and you think it's red wine, should you say something? And so I'm like, well, yes, I don't know. What do you want from me? It's trash.
It is a bottle of Gatorade, but yeah. 100%. I like the one where like, oh, my drive skips and hits a dog and then ricochets off a tree and then comes in and, it does all these weird, like, what's the call? Like,
the dog's name's Jimmy.
yeah.
Trash.
Trash.
All right.
Making safari courses for tournaments.
So what is a safari course?
I believe we're adjusting if a course is permanent, then you're kind of making up some holes or changing holes for a tournament.
So playing from like T-pad 1 to basket 5.
Oh no, I think if it's for tournaments, I mean it's like the Vic Open, moving some baskets around, making things more difficult. So
Yeah.
is that?
Have you ever,
Are we talking full safaris in
Bald
like
Hill? If they're like, right, we're playing here to here to here to here. And
Instead of just playing the
all
tournament
niggas.
course.
Yeah.
The permanent course.
What about just
Cool.
safari courses in general? Don't worry about for tournaments.
I mean, I kind of just like playing the permanent courses, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree as well. I think it's, I don't know. I mean, people say, oh yeah, I get bored or whatever like that, but like, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like just play the course, get better at the course.
Yeah.
Stop making up
what's
stupid holes that are just dangerous, throwing across pars and requiring spotters and all
Agree.
that shit.
Yeah.
Agree.
It's not boring stacking yourself up against all that, UDisc leaderboards and that sort of stuff. But yeah, play the course. Like, try and get better at it. 100%. Trash. Disc golf pins.
Money! The tee-off pin is an example of that. Absolutely.
100%.
Cash money.
Love a good tee-off pin. I have heard that, a disc golf pin, I should say, and you should love a tee-off pin too. But, I reckon they're hilarious, especially like the Frolf Jerry ones and
Yeah,
stuff.
the George one.
They're
Very
awesome.
good.
Yep, cash.
Cash and that.
Yep.
Easy. All right, the transition of club leagues to social days.
Oh boy.
So explain this for me.
So, like, a lot of clubs would run leagues, but now I've noticed a lot of other they don't have leagues anymore. They have social days. They've just sort of rebranded, but it is more of like everyone comes in and plays and has fun.
Never been to one. Ever since it's been called Social Day, I've never been to one. Yeah. So it's a trash from me. I was kind of looking forward to that, it's not quite a tournament, but it is that sort of more competitive, more serious, more legitimate round each month. And now it's kind of lost that appeal. Because, I mean, I get where it's coming from. It wants to get more people into the sport and whatnot.
100%.
And on that front, I think it is working. But I do miss the good old-fashioned league days.
Yeah, I think if you're a competitive-minded person, it's less attractive.
Yeah.
My social days are practice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not like tournament, like club stuff. I would like to, have league and have a handicap or have a rating or have anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a trash for me. But I understand it. It does work. Yeah. I
I'll
get
go
the
with the trash.
reasoning.
If you, cash though, if you're new to the sport,
Yeah.
love a good social.
So
day.
it's a half. We understand.
Nah, it's a
But-
trash.
No, get the
Can't these people that are just like on the fence about coming to a league day just rock up to a league day? Like, that'd be great.
All right. Getting people to sign your disc after you ace.
Ugh. Ugh.
No.
Yuck.
Yep.
Yeah. Yuck.
Do you know what? I've hit an incredible ace and you have signed my disc. I made you sign it. And I remember you saying, like, what am I doing this for? And I'm like, so whenever I look back at that disc, I'm like, hey, Tim. You remember?
Yeah. No, don't be touching my disc with your texter.
Ryan, I saw you smash an ace. What was it, hole nine down at Barn Valley the other day?
Yeah, yep.
Did you get these boys to sign it?
Nah, I don't want that on my disc.
Yeah.
No, I think the nicer thing now is to take that good old selfie after it with everyone on your card.
Yep.
So it's a trash for me, 100%.
Yep, trash.
Trash.
Trashing.
Disc golf celebrations. So, is it specific for this or just in general? Just
Well, I think like your Albert Tam.
yeah, the Albert Tam Bazooka one's friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
What about, I like the Ricky Wysocki, the Raptor legs.
The Raptor legs.
Yeah, gotta love that.
The Paul Macbeth pump and maybe the spin in the air, like jump around. Yeah.
What's another good one? Anyone else got a good celebration?
Oh, James Conrad's always looks pretty good when his hair's waving about.
Little skip.
Little
Jangling down the fairway.
Yeah, who doesn't like seeing celebrations?
When I saw this, I actually thought of like Instagram videos of just randoms throwing 400 discs until they get an ace and then go, yeah, I'm amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually,
They're shit.
Yeah,
They're really shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those ace videos where they're celebrating an ace, and in the background you can see there's 40 discs on the ground around the basket because they've had 95 cracks at it.
No,
Yeah,
I would like to see more celebrating. I know sometimes when like I'm on the course and I like hit, sometimes I get a birdie, I'm like, oh, thank God. It's just all relief. Like, yeah, I got that. But like sometimes when you hit a big one, like, why not? Just just pump up, have a bit of a scream. Like,
I want to see
yell
someone,
out,
I want to see someone bring out the I've done an injury, I've done a hammy twerk.
running in, Raptor leg hammy. I want to see more like Shooter McGavins. Shooter.
That's what I do on the casual rounds. I should bring that into tournaments, I reckon. All right,
So,
money.
cash.
Yeah,
Cash,
I'll
yeah.
cash that.
Cash. Spoilers for tournaments. Like,
I mean-
and people like, and spoilers. Like, hey, don't post in this chat. I don't want spoilers, that type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I hate people that ruin the scores and stuff. I mean,
You got to stay off the socials though. Surely you got to stay off it.
Exactly. Like if you're trying to avoid a score, then obviously if you go onto Instagram, Facebook, whatever, like that's your own fault. But I mean, putting it into the group chat, that's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. Don't be out there be like, oh, the Bombers won, yay.
Yeah.
If it depends on the size of the group chat, but yeah, for sure. I get that.
Don't be one of those people that says you can't spoil live sport. Like what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Like obviously not everybody's going to be able to watch it live, so maybe be considerate of those people. Yeah.
Cool.
But don't spoil stuff. I mean, yeah.
So is it
What am I
cash
saying?
or
Cash or
trash?
trash?
So-
Yeah, what is it?
Spoilers.
They
All right,
are
let's
trash.
change it. Like
Spoilers are trash.
people who spoil it.
I think you spoil it on purpose. That's pretty shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That
it's
is-
trash.
that's
Don't
Camp Forward.
spoil it. Shut your mouth.
But just on that, but the people that just go onto the social media and just be like, yay, these people won. Like, why do that? Fair dinkum. Just attention seeking.
All right. Elevated baskets.
Elevated baskets. How elevated are we talking here? We're talking trestle table Ash Weedner elevated or talking sort of...
What was it? Hole? Can't even think now. Maybe 15 or something on the weekend. At the Innova Blue Ridge, whatever the hell the thing was called. There was the top of the tray was 7 feet tall.
Oh, yeah, that was
wow.
huge.
That was big.
That's
Yeah,
big.
That was over Big Germ's head, that was.
Yeah.
In my personal experience,
Gannon Burr took it out with his teeth.
Oh, wow. In my personal experience, I grew up playing Barn Valley where the baskets are literally 2 centimetres off the ground. So it made every single basket feel elevated after that. I was missing low. I was missing low for a long time. But I don't mind the odd elevated basket if it's used sparingly.
Yep.
If it's every friggin' hole, no good.
As someone who's 6'2", I don't mind a bit of an elevator basket because, I often feel like I'm always putting down. It's kind of good to putt up. But, yeah, I'll say cash.
Yeah, used in moderation, cash.
Cash.
Cool. And last one, gimmick basket placement, i.e. in a tree hanging baskets.
So I'm thinking sort of like that one at Molong where it's in the branches of a tree. Or things of that nature. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, there's a couple on the weekend too. There's baskets surrounded by rocks and there's even putts in off the rock.
Yep. I'm going to say cash because we have a unique sport where we can actually kind of do that. Yeah. And I think it is unique to some courses. I think they can go too far sometimes, but if there's thought behind it and it's well placed, then it's definitely cash.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I mean, use sparingly. And again, this event on the weekend, you've got dudes shooting 19s and all the rest of it. It's interesting just to have one event on the tour that's like that because then it's, I don't know, it is a point of difference. That's kind of cool. So, yeah, just don't do it all the time.
I don't mind a good feature. So, yeah, I'm happy with the gimmick one.
Yep. I like it. Brings character.
Nice. All right, that's it for another trash or cash. There was a lot more cash there than actual trash. That's rare for us. I like it. So we had a couple of questions sent in. We'll get through them now. Nick Halstead, what do we think is the most popular disc golf brand in Australia? Oh, mate, it's definitely Trilogy.
Turn it up.
It's definitely
Turn it up.
Trilogy is...
People just don't know yet.
Very good question, Nick. What is... Legitimately, what do you think? I mean, you run a shop, Fergs. What are you selling the most of?
Probably. Have you heard of Araby? No. No, I think
Lightning discs.
Look, I mean, I think it's still Innova.
Yeah,
I think it's still Innova.
Yeah, my vote would be Innova. But then second
I'd
best,
say
what, Discraft?
Discraft probably.
Yeah.
Innova Discraft.
I must say, in the States, it felt like every single man and his dog was throwing Discraft. It really felt like they were dominating the US market, but who knows? Innova's,
Yeah. So, like, if you want that
moves.
mass-produced, like, poor quality control stuff, then, yeah, definitely. Innova, most popular, sure.
It is
and if you want to throw 7 different attempts at making a destroyer, then go straight to Latitude.
Yeah, feel that plastic, mate. Feel that plastic. You'll never go back.
You can throw the Hope or the Faith or the Truth. Man, there's some shocking names rolling out of Latitude.
We don't talk about those ones.
I hope it goes in.
Ash Whitener has sent in, after Paddy's 10 down in a hurricane, is Tim even turning up on the weekend?
Shots fired. Shots fired. Course record,
Ash.
if you don't mind, Ash. I'm sort of still holding that course record down at Ballarat. I'll be
Are
there.
you though?
I'll be there. When have I ever missed a comp? So it's a silly question, Ash.
And finally, Alex Canaston, who's the furthest thrower in Australia pound for pound?
Good question.
Is this because Alex,
He's gotta
weighs 35 kilos?
He's going to be every bit of 35 kilos, soaking wet.
So is this distance like overweight? Is that what we're talking about?
So I think it's like the heavier you are, you have to throw it further. So
Right.
the lot, yeah.
Well, I'm out. Yeah.
I mean, Atticus is. I mean, he gets knocked around in a 40k wind because he's 20 kilos himself. I reckon he could have the distance covered there, but it's got to be between Alex, Atticus, and Blake Houston, I think.
Oh, sorry.
Ryan Hart.
Ryan Hart. Yeah, he
Definitely up there. I mean, he's probably similar
you're
weight
not
to those
wrong.
boys.
Not wrong.
He can crush.
I'll throw Dill out there, but he is very tall, and I think that height is going to come with a bit of weight. But yeah, he can definitely throw big. But no, I agree. Cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks for sending in those questions. Excellent. All right, that wraps up episode 35. I want to say thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Tim. And thank you, Fergie, for being in the studio here. Please make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Send any questions you have or topics that you'd like us to discuss. We love hearing back from our listeners. Please look out for us at the Vic Open as well, and come say good day, have a little picture with us and post it on the old Instas. We'll have some merch and some giveaways. It's going to be good fun. But until then, hope you get out and play some disc golf with your mates.
So that's the end of the episode. Thanks for listening. I don't know why you're still here. We have to go see our families. Seriously, just go play disc golf.